Hey y'all, this is your favorite partner Jazz, and welcome to another episode of Good Intentions ATL, where we explore and amplify the beauty of duality. So join me for this ride as we go through this journey. Yeah, let's get started. Let's insert some air horns and some claps and some lit shit, and let's go. Thank you all for listening. This first episode, I wanted to kind of jump into some things that I've learned while turning 35. So this one I'm calling the birthday episode. Yep, Cancer season. I know we are a little bit late, but you know, it's still Cancer season. So even though technically by the time you listen to this, shout out to the Leos, but this one still was for, you know, the Cancers. So happy birthday to all my fellow Cancers. And of course, because it's Leo season, happy birthday to them lying Leos. I'm just kidding. Happy birthday, Leos. So, dang, I just smacked. And I'm sure you guys are going to hear that. My apologies. It's my first time recording. So, let's just roll. Well, during this season, I have been learning so much. And I just wanted to talk about just some of the biggest lessons that I've learned while turning 35 or just while approaching 35. I've been going through like this purging season, what feels like forever. It feels like technically I've been going through this purging season for about 3 years, probably longer. Shit, technically I'm saying like 3 to 4 years. It feels like I've been going through this purging season, right? And I finally feel like I'm coming out of it, or maybe just this first phase of purging. But I feel like I'm finally coming out of it, and I'm a little excited about that. But also that just made me sit and reflect about how much has happened during this process. So many ups and downs, so many lessons I've learned, so many people that joined me on this journey, so many people that's no longer here, so many times where I didn't think I would even come this far because of myself. Like, not even because other people was doing stuff to me or were or weren't doing stuff to me. It was just the fact that sometimes, you know, shit, we get in our own way. So with this, I just wanted to make sure that I stepped out of my own way and that I actually, dang, and my stomach is growling. Oh my gosh, that is so bad. I'm sorry, y'all. My stomach growling and I am drinking water, so I'm sorry. But let's keep rolling. So, one of the biggest things that I've learned while turning 35 is if what you are doing don't work, sometimes you just gotta stop. It may feels like, you know, we always hear, keep trying, don't give up. And sometimes you do need to give up. Or not necessarily give up, but if what you are doing, if it's not working, you do need to stop and sit there and pause and reset and figure out if that's something you should even be doing. Because so many times I've wasted like doing things that I wasn't supposed to be doing anyway, putting energy into things or people that was never even supposed to be happening. And I would just go back and reset and go back and think about another way and go back and just keep going back to the drawing board. And some of those things I was never supposed to do. So yeah, if some stuff isn't working, like, figure out if you just actually need to stop doing whatever it is that you're doing. So many times that's not our passion, or that's not our goal, or that's not who we're supposed to be with, but we just keep trying to find ways to reinvent instead of figuring out if you just need to stop doing the shit anyway. So yeah, I could have wasted a lot of time. I could have not wasted a lot of time stressing and worrying, money, energy into stuff that I was never supposed to be doing. So yeah, we are definitely going to just figure out if we're supposed to be doing certain things and yeah, to understand that don't let this, you should never quit. No, sometimes quit. Sometimes stop. So, yeah, that's the first lesson that I learned. The second one, don't be afraid to speak up for yourself. Like everybody, to me, everybody doesn't deserve grace and kindness every time. And that don't mean you have to engage in certain things. It just means be okay with figuring out a way to stand up for yourself and to stand up for what you need and to be okay with whatever result happens because of that. Like figure out how to find your voice and realize that you can start off with grace, but that don't mean you're supposed to get ran over also. So just kind of balance that out. The next thing is take more risks. You automatically lose when you don't take the risk. Like you automatically lose and you're not even giving yourself a chance to win because you didn't try, which means you automatically lose. You're automatically in last place. So stop being scared. Take the chance. Take the risk. And go ahead and try to do some stuff because you losing. You're not doing the thing. Whatever the thing is, try to take more risks. Have more faith. Like, I know part of the reason that I've had to repeat so many of the lessons that I've had to repeat is because I was in my own way. I've come from a place where I feel like I've never had the wiggle room to mess up and to lose because that one thing could really knock me off my square really bad. So I never came from too much. It was just enough to make it. So therefore I never had error. I never had room for error. Like I always just had to make sure it was done right because there was never room. There was never room. It was never time. Like I had to get it right because I couldn't afford to not get it right because one wrong move and I lose it all. So I would be in my own way and not take risks because I just needed to make sure I made it. I would stay at jobs longer than I was supposed to and accept, lesser pay or a not so great schedule or something just because having something is better than nothing. And I have to do this because I have certain responsibilities that has to be done. However, I just wish that I would have learned this lesson a little bit earlier. I would have been so much further in my career and in my thought process. Certain situations would have been saved or prevented, but also I am where I am because of all of that. But I feel like I could have got there another way. So yeah, I automatically took a lot of L's just by not betting on myself. And now I realize that I do have a lot of people in my corner. I have a lot, and a lot of those people are people that I've met recently, like within the past couple of years. But with meeting new people, especially with being an esthetician and being a person in the service industry, I meet so many people, and one of the things that I enjoy is having those conversations with them because so many of them take risk. They're not scared to take the risk, and like they're pumped about it. Like it don't even be a second thought in their mind that they gonna lose. Like they don't even think about if this goes wrong. The only thing they're thinking about is if this goes right, and when this goes right, this is what's going to happen. So that just opened my eyes up a little bit more to get out of my own way and to take more risks because at least if I try, it's a 50-50 chance that I'm a win or I'm a lose. But if I keep thinking about it, 100% it's a loss. So yeah, take more risks, have more faith that it's all gonna work out. The last thing, but one of the most important things to me that I've learned is to just make sure that people are understanding that everybody isn't replaceable. Some people are supposed to be in your life for a reason or a season or both. Some lessons you're supposed to learn from certain situations. Certain people bring very important value to your life. And don't be so quick to think that you can always find that in everyone else, because there are certain people that cannot be duplicated. And also, I do believe that some of the things that you need is tied to certain situations, and sometimes you mess that up when you decide to take matters into your own hands. So just like, figure out a way to give people grace, but also have that spirit of discernment where you know how much grace to give, because also we're not the ones in charge. Like I always say, God gives you grace. I don't, but that when I was young and crazy. So, but yeah, everybody can't be replaced. So don't always be so quick to say, fuck this person, or you don't need this person, or to cut people off. Like, don't be so quick to always feel like you can find it in someone else, because sometimes that thing you were supposed to learn is tied to a situation. You were supposed to learn something from that. But anytime conflict happens, you run. Anytime you don't get your way, or you don't like the way something is said or something is done, you run. Somebody can't make something, you upset. You get offended about something. Or you just feel like you take people for granted, like it doesn't matter. But yeah, some people you can say fuck them. Like, that's one of my favorite things. But also, I do realize that some of my stepping stones is tied to certain lessons that came from people. So I got to keep my eyes open with that. Just something to think about. Everybody can't be replaced. I know if you're, like, for example, I had to play an important role in a lot of people's lives that I was in. And because I was in a dark place, I didn't realize who I was and the value that I brought. But people around me seen that. People seen that I wasn't valuing my gift, but I brought so much to the table. So they would take advantage of that. But now that I kind of see what I bring to the table, like, I bring people together. I make stuff happen. And some of the things that I bring, I know it can't be duplicated. I know if I have a real personal relationship with you, or if you've really had time with me, I brought something in your life that nobody else is going to bring. Period. No, I already know that. So, yeah, just kind of make sure you understand that everybody can't be replaced. Some people you actually need in your life. We do need people. As much as I love Play Fly, everybody needs somebody. Okay? I know he said nobody needs nobody, but actually we do. We need each other. So yeah, this is the first episode of Good Intentions ATL, where we explore and amplify the beauty of duality. And yeah, don't judge me too harshly. This is my first recording, so yeah, we out of here. Let me know what you think. Let me know some of the lessons that you learned, as your new year or around your birthday comes, and just certain things that you start to change or feel around that time. Like, what are some of those things? What are some things you do to kind of reset for your new year, which I'm considering your birth year, your birthday? Like, what do you do to kind of switch that up? What do you do to kind of make sure you're not the same person or in the same position that you were in before? So yeah, this has been going on way longer than I expected it to. So until next time, I am out of here. Thank you all for listening.